students, in today's lecture of RTS, we are going to discuss about IOP. Now you will say, ma'am, what is IOP? IOP is nothing but it is an input-output processor. What does IOP stands for? Input-output processor. Now we'll see the various characteristics and we'll discuss what is IOP. Then after that, we are going to see block diagram of it also. So let's move forward. An input-output processor, or else you can say IOP, is a processor with direct memory access capacity. So what is the advantage of input-output processor? The advantage of input-output processor is that it does not require any mediator. It himself or he, the input-output जो processor है वो अपने आप ही memory को access कर सकता है directly without any help, without any mediator, right? So we can say that the input-output processor can access memory directly. It is having that capacity, right? Now, second point that we need to understand is, in this computer system is divided into memory unit and number of processor. Now in case of IOP, what happens? We divide the computer systems into memory unit and number of processor. हम क्या करते हैं? Computer systems को divide कर देते हैं. किस में divide करते हैं? Memory unit में और number of processor में. Now the third point is that in each input-output processor controls and manages the input-output task. अब जो हमारा हर IOP होता है, each and every IOP, what is its function? What is its characteristics? The function of input-output processor is that it actually controls and manage input-output tasks. जितने भी input-output task होते हैं उसे ये control करता है और manage करता है, right? See, the IOP is similar to CPU only, except that it handles only the detail about input-output processor. आप कह सकते हैं IOP is somewhat similar to CPU, Central Processing Unit, और हमारा IOP almost same है, but there is only one difference that exists, and what that difference is? The difference is that IOP handles only details about input-output processing. ये जो हमारा IOP है, ये क्या करता है? Handle करता है detail किसकी? Input-output processing की. और ये जो IOP होता है, इसका एक और characteristic है. There is one more characteristic of IOP. What is that characteristic? It fetch and executes its own instruction. It does not require any help. It has the capacity to fetch as well as execute its own instruction. ये क्या करता है? अपने ही instruction को fetch और execute करता है. Right? This is clear? Now, these IOP instructions are designed to manage input-output transfer. भाई, whatever the instructions are there, हम instruction देते क्यों? Why we given instructions? Obviously to perform certain function. किसी functions को perform करने के लिए तो हम instruction देते हैं. Now, in case of IOP, ये जो हमारा IOP है, उसमें हम instructions क्यों दे रहे हैं? हम instructions input-output processor में इसलिए डिज़ाइन कर रहे हैं so that to manage input-output transfer. Input और output transfer को manage करने के लिए ही we are designing the input-output processor instruction. Clear? There is no other logic behind designing input-output instructions. They are exclusively designed to manage input-output transfers only. Right? These points are clear about input-output processor. Right? Now we are going to discuss about the block diagram of input-output processor. Right? So this is the block diagram. Let's see the block diagram first. This is the memory unit, and memory unit is connected to CPU and IOP input-output processor. And what are the mode of communication in between CPU and the memory? Memory buses are there, which is actually connecting the CPU with the memory and IOP with the memory. And then this IOP is further connected with the peripheral devices, that is PD1, PD2 and PD3. Here PD1, PD2 and PD3 are actually denoting the peripheral devices which are attached to it. And CPU denotes the central processing unit, and here is the memory bus, right? So this block diagram is clear. Now we'll see the functions of the respective blocks that are actually attached to it, right? You can see like that. Fine. So below is the block diagram of computer along with the various input-output processors that we have already seen, right? Now the memory unit occupy the central positions and can communicate with each processor. Now what is happening? What is the position? What is the location of memory unit? जो हमारी memory unit है उसकी location क्या है? वो हमने central position दी है उसको. And why we have given the central position to the memory unit? Is there any reason? Obviously, so that it can communicate with each processor. It doesn't find any difficulty in communicating with the processor, and that's the reason why the memory unit occupy the central position in the block diagram. Block diagram में हमारा जो memory unit है उसको central position इसलिए दी गई है so that it can communicate with each processor, right? Now the CPU processor, the data required for solving the computational task. हम जानते हैं CPU processor में क्या होता है? We require processor the data required for solving the computational task. किसी भी computational task को परफॉर्म करने के लिए हमारे पास क्या होते हैं? सेंट्रल प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट जो प्रोसेसिंग करते हैं, राइट? उसके लिए हमें डेटा की जरूरत होती है ना. IOP प्रोवाइड्स अ पाथ ऑफ ट्रांसफर ऑफ डेटा बिटवीन द पेरिफेरल डिवाइसेस एंड मेमोरी. हमने देखा ब्लॉक डायग्राम में, एज वी हैव सीन इन दिस ब्लॉक डायग्राम, सी यू कैन इजीली सी, is peripheral devices are connected to CPU? No, CPU is not connected to the peripheral devices. So what is that block that is connected to the peripheral devices? कौन सा ब्लॉक डिवाइस जो है पेरिफेरल डिवाइसेस से कनेक्टेड है? इट्स IOP, दैट इज इनपुट आउटपुट प्रोसेसर, नॉट द सेंट्रल प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट इज कनेक्टेड. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? So what exactly the task of input output processor? Input output processor is actually collecting all the peripheral devices, that the PD1, as you can see in this block diagram, PD1, PD2, PD3 to the memory unit, and CPU is not connected to the peripheral devices. Only and only input output processor is connected to the peripheral devices, and hence it is doing the job of connecting the peripheral devices to the memory unit, right? This is clear. So what I'm trying to see, it's required for some IOP provides a path of transfer of data between the peripheral devices and the memory. Now, next point says that the CPU assigns the task for initiating the input-output program. What is the job of CPU here? Along with, performing some computational task, what is the other task that has been allotted to the CPU, central processing unit? The other task that has been allotted to the CPU is, it assigns the task of initiating input-output program. CPU क्या करता है? Assign करता है. What does it assign? It assigns the task. What type of task it assign? Of initiating the input-output program. Input-output program को initiate करने का जो task है, वो हमारा CPU ही assign करता है. So that's why the existence of CPU is important, right? Now the IOP operates independent from the CPU. We know that CPU is not involved in IOP. Can you see any attachment of IOP and peripheral devices in IOP, in between the IOP and the peripheral devices? No. Is there any attachment of the CPU in between the memory unit and the IOP? No. Right? So you can say, since there's no existence of CPU in between the memory unit and IOP, vice versa, similarly, there's no existence of CPU in between IOP and the peripheral devices. Hence, we can say that the IOP operates independent from CPU. Means our input-output processor is not dependent on central processing unit and the transfer data between the peripheral and memory devices. In order to transfer the device, data in between the peripheral and the memory devices, IOP does not require CPU. It is independent of CPU and it itself is handling the data transfer in between the peripheral and the memory devices. Why the peripheral and the memory devices? Because memory unit is actually connected to the peripheral devices via IOP only, as you can see in the block diagram, right? So next point is that the communication between the IOP and the device is similar to the program control method of transfer. Now you'll say, ma'am, what is the communication method, or what is the, how it's actually communicate the device and the IOP with each other? The IOP and the devices, as you can see, is the diagram. The peripheral devices that is connected to the IOP, they communicate. The communication in between them is somewhat similar to the program control method of transfer. जैसा कि हमारा प्रोग्राम कंट्रोल मेथड में ट्रांसफर होता था, सिमिलरली वैसा ही कम्युनिकेशन मेंटेन होता है इनपुट आउटपुट प्रोसेसर और पेरिफेरल डिवाइसेस के बीच में, राइट? एंड द कम्युनिकेशन विद द मेमोरी इज सिमिलर टू द डायरेक्ट मेमोरी एक्सेस मेथड. और भाई हमारा जो ये IOP है, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली द IOP इज डूइंग? The communication between IOP and the peripheral devices is similar to the program control method. IOP और devices के बीच का जो communication है वो किसके similar है? Program control method के बीच में जो program control method of transfer है उसकी similar है. और जो हमारा IOP memory से भी तो communicate कर रहा है, तो वो method किसके equivalent है? The communication between the memory and the IOP is similar to the direct memory access मेथड, दैट इज DMA मेथड के इक्विवेलेंट है. अब हम देखेंगे ब्लॉक डायग्राम में दैट द IOP इज एक्चुअली कम्युनिकेटिंग विद द मेमोरी यूनिट with the help of DMA method, and IOP is actually communicating with the peripheral devices to transfer the data which is similar to the which type of method? Program control method, right? These 2 points are clear. Now, in a large scale computer, each processor is independent of other processor, and any processor can initiate the operation. Abhi, this was the example of small scale computers. Now, when we'll consider a large scale computer, in that case, what happens? Each and every processor that is connected is independent of each other. Means the processor are not dependent on each other. They can independently work, and any processor can initiate the operation. And it is not compulsory that only, okay, fine, central processing process CPU can, or IOP can, initiate the operation. No, nothing is like that. Since the processors are independent of each other, they do not depend on each other. So any processor can initiate the operation. See, the CPU can act as a master and IOP can act as a slave processor. So we can say that central processing unit हमारा master है और IOP हमारा क्या है? Slave processor है, right? Now, CPU assign the task of initiating the operation, but it is IOP who execute the instructions and not the CPU. हमारा जो CPU होता है, what the CPU is doing, ये तो सिर्फ initiate कर रहा है task को. ऑपरेशन को परफॉर्म करने का, जो इनिशिएट करने का जो टास्क है, वो सीपीयू को दिया हुआ है. लेकिन आईओपी क्या कर रहा है? आईओपी इज द वन हु इज एक्चुअली एग्जीक्यूटिंग द इंस्ट्रक्शन. जितने भी इंस्ट्रक्शंस है उनका एग्जीक्यूशन इज बीइंग परफॉर्म बाय आईओपी एंड नॉट द सीपीयू. राइट, दिस इज क्लियर. CPU instruction provide operation to start input output transfer. IOP ask for CPU through interrupt. अब CPU इंस्ट्रक्शन क्या करते हैं? ऑपरेशन प्रोवाइड करते हैं क्या? स्टार्ट करने के लिए इनपुट आउटपुट ट्रांसफर को. और IOP हमारे क्या करते हैं? CPU से इंटरप्ट के लिए पूछते हैं. द इंस्ट्रक्शन दैट आर रीड फ्रॉम द इनपुट आउटपुट प्रोसेसर आर ऑल्सो कॉल्ड कमांड. जितने भी इंस्ट्रक्शन होते हैं जो हम IOP से रीड करते हैं उन्हें हम कमांड्स कहते हैं. टू डिस्टिंग्विश दैम फ्रॉम द इंस्ट्रक्शन दैट इज रेड फ्रॉम द CPU. अब CPU में जितने भी इंस्ट्रक्शन है उसको तो हम इंस्ट्रक्शन कह रहे हैं, और जितने भी IOP में इंस्ट्रक्शन है उसे हमने कमांड कह दिया. सो दैट वी कैन डिफरेंशिएट between the instruction of IOP and instruction of CPU. Now the commands are prepared by the programs and are stored in the memory. जितने भी कमांड होते हैं, जितने भी IOP के इंस्ट्रक्शन हैं, वो कौन परफॉर्म कर रहा है? वो प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं प्रोग्रामर, और उसे हम स्टोर कर देते हैं मेमोरी में. एंड द कमांड वर्ड्स मेक द प्रोग्राम फॉर IOP. और कमांड क्या करते हैं? हमारा क्या बनाते हैं? प्रोग्राम बनाते हैं. किसका प्रोग्राम बनाते हैं? IOP का. So CPU informs the IOP where the command in the memory. और कमांड मेमोरी में कहाँ रखा हुआ है, ये कौन बताता है? CPU बताता है. सो आई थिंक दिस concept of IOP, CPU and the block diagram of IOP is clear to you, and its functions are clear to you. Still, if you find any problem, please feel free to ask me. Thank you so very much.